Welcome to another episode of Spelling Bee Ninja's Economics Lessons. Today, we are going to explore a fascinating topic, the reasons why money exists. We will journey through history to understand the purpose of money and how it shapes our economies. So, grab a comfortable seat and let's dive in. Have you ever wondered why we use money instead of just trading items directly? Imagine if you wanted a toy but only had snacks to offer in return. What if the toy owner doesn't like snacks? That's where the concept of money becomes important. Money acts as a medium of exchange, making trade much easier than relying on bartering, which can be quite tricky. But how did this all start? Let's travel back in time to uncover the history of money. And most of us think of coins and bills when we think of money, but the history of money is actually a long and varied tale. The word money comes from the Latin word moneta, which was a title for the Roman goddess Juno. In her temple, coins were minted, and this is where the idea of currency began to take shape. Around 600 years before the Common Era, in a region known as Lydia, modern-day Turkey, some of the first coins were minted. These coins were made from a natural mixture of gold and silver called electrum. The Lydians were highly innovative. They created coins as a standardized method of trade. Before coins, people relied on various objects that had value, like shells or livestock, which were not always easy to carry or exchange. With coins, trade became simpler and more efficient, which helped economies grow and flourish. But the story of money doesn't end there. During the Tang Dynasty in China, around the 7th century, people started using paper money. This was another revolutionary moment in the history of money. Why use paper, you might ask? Well, as trade expanded, carrying large amounts of coins became cumbersome. Paper money was much lighter and easier to handle, allowing people to conduct transactions more quickly. The popularity of paper money continued to rise, and by the time of the Song Dynasty in the late 900s, it became widely accepted. Imagine living in a world where instead of heavy coins, you could just carry a piece of paper to buy things. This made trade smoother and even more attractive, leading to more economic activities. Now let's think about the role of money in our modern world. Money functions as a unit of account, a store of value, and a medium of exchange. Essentially, it helps us keep track of how much things are worth, holds value for future use, and allows us to trade easily for goods and services. This is crucial for any economy, as without money, people would struggle to trade and get the items they need. For instance, consider how technology uses money today. Have you ever used an app to send money to a friend? That's a modern twist on the age-old concept of money. Instead of physical coins or notes, we have digital currency flowing through our devices, making it even easier to trade and conduct activities. Let's talk about the significance of money from a societal perspective as well. Money does more than just facilitate trade, it reflects our values and priorities. For example, the design of coins and banknotes often showcases historical figures, cultural symbols, or important events in a nation's history. Through this lens, we can see how societies place value on certain aspects of their heritage and identity. Moreover, money also plays a critical role in the global economy. Did you know that different countries have different currencies? For instance, while we use the US dollar here, other parts of the world use euros, yen, or rupees. These currencies can change in value based on various factors, such as trade conditions, inflation, and government policies. One fascinating example is how the value of the euro has shifted since it was introduced in the year 2000. Understanding these concepts helps us make sense of the complex world of international trade. Additionally, let's not forget the role of banking. Banks are institutions that help manage money. They offer services like savings accounts, loans, and even currency exchange. When you deposit money in a bank, it helps to create a flow of funds that supports local businesses and communities. This interconnected system keeps economies thriving. It's quite impressive how something as simple as money influences so many parts of our lives. As we reflect on money's journey, it's essential to recognize its evolution. From ancient coins to digital transactions, money has transformed the way people interact and conduct business over the ages. Embracing the history and functionality of money empowers us with a better understanding of our own economic systems today. To recap what we've discovered today, money exists primarily to make trade simpler and facilitate economic activity. It has evolved from bartering and the use of physical commodities to coins, and eventually to paper money and electronic currency. Through its history, we've seen how different cultures valued and utilized money, as well as how it shaped global connections between economies. It's a powerful tool that reflects societal values and boosts trade, illustrating the significant role it plays in our everyday lives. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of the history and purpose of money. We hope you found it as fascinating as we did. Remember, the next time you hold a coin or swipe your card, you are engaging with thousands of years of history and economic evolution. Keep asking questions, stay curious, and explore the world of economics with us in future episodes. Until next time, keep learning and growing.